He's been editing.
Yeah.
Heard all the noise, yeah.
Alright guys, welcome to week 9, day 57, page 295. Yes, look at that. Yeah, look at the difference between what we did and what we didn't do. And a lot of this at the end is just like
Appendix.
appendix and
yeah.
extra stuff.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
We are.
That's
Some of
great.
us made it.
Wow.
Exciting.
So week 9 he talks about the difference between OBEs and lucid dreaming a lot in there. So what, and then today's new thing, there's no breathing differences for this week. You guys read, there's no, everything we did last week, the warm-up area, the preparation process is all the same. The only thing that's different today is the exit technique, is washing hands. So, Steph, I'll let you
Washing hands.
read here.
Yeah. We need to do that step by step so they can understand.
In both
Do a little practice.
waking and OBE states.
So we're on day 57, right?
Day 57.
Cool. I must have
Hard to
skipped
believe.
ahead just to peek and highlighted something.
Bob Peterson's advice.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to the tips anyway, but I'll mention it. So, this is very short, simple
Yeah.
technique.
It
Won't
is.
take long at all. So, yeah. Page 296.
That
if
means
you
it gives
wanna
us
follow.
more time to share later.
Alright. Step 1. Imagine your hands are out in front of you and perform a washing action like so. As if washing your real hands and forearms with soap and water. Step 2. Vary the speed of the washing action from slow to rapid and keep it at arm's length from your body. It's just that simple.
That's simple,
No.
guys.
It's just that easy. That's the phrase, right?
Ooh.
Commercials.
Hit that button.
That's right, the easy button. So the daily tips, Robert Bruce says, the whole idea behind all the training in this program is to teach you how to recreate what happens naturally while you sleep. The difficulties of inducing OBE exits are solely caused by the presence of an awake consciousness. You're awake instead of being asleep. To overcome this, you need to train yourself to artificially recreate similar conditions as occur during natural sleep projection. Also, you need to persuade your subconscious mind that you are kind of asleep and that it's okay to have an OBE under these artificially created conditions. The OBE is a very simple phenomenon that occurs smoothly and naturally while you sleep. But inducing an OBE while your mind is awake and remembering it after the fact is, as you know, quite another matter. So I highlighted that. Huh?
To say the least.
To say the least. So I highlighted that one at the end there because Robert Peterson in his OBE book also talks about kind of like sneaking past the guardian. Like there's a sleep guardian that's watching, making sure that first of all you're physically asleep, you're not going to sleepwalk, but also that you're completely out so that you aren't there before you start dreaming.
Dragging your body around.
Right.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. So, and that's why it's so important to be thoughtless and have no, basically be in a deep meditation and be able to hold that state for like a minute. That little vital slice of time is when basically the watcher is checking on you. It's like, ready for the OB extraction yet or not? Oh, they're still chattering away, obviously. Nope, gotta wait. Gotta wait. But if you can hold that state, then it'll be tricked into thinking that you're actually asleep and you're good to go, and it'll start the process. Brian Mercer's tip is, I like this particular method because of the many possible variations it provides and how easy it is to combine it with other techniques. Instead of washing hands, sometimes I'll put myself in front of my computer and imagine that I'm typing. This has the added benefit of placing me away from my physical body, as well as keeping my attention focused on my imaginary hands in front of me. Occasionally, for about 5 minutes at the beginning, I'll imagine I'm typing affirmations. Yeah, that's how it
Oh,
works.
that's killing two
I
birds
thought
with
he
one
used
stone.
that.
That's a good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I want to do the
Wow.
typing
Heck
instead.
That's
Typing sounds more interesting than washing hands.
And it's something you do more often, right?
Pretend you're doing Unity.
That might get
Line
my
goers.
brain going. I'll imagine I'm typing affirmations, I guess, such as, I now have an out-of-body experience, this sort of thing. Eventually clearing my mind again and concentrating solely on the feeling of my fingers moving over the keys. Another scenario is to place myself in front of my bookshelf holding an open book. I will imagine my hands turning the pages one by one, paying close attention to the texture of the paper beneath my imaginary fingers. This particular one often gives me a rapid sense of falling when I do it long enough.
I highlighted here in Robert's place too, how he says having an OBE is easy when you're sleeping. I'm not saying you remember it or anything, but he says, but inducing an OBE while your mind is awake and remembering it after the fact is, as you know, quite another matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
It's worth it.
so I'm gonna make a suggestion this week, since we're all pros now, since we're this far in, is I don't think I should need to stop every 5 minutes, and we just keep going through the whole.
Yeah.
We'll decide how many minutes we want to do, and then I'll just put that on the clock to end, and we just.
Did you
Go.
find a chime?
What's that?
'Cause I do like markers.
You do like markers?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to I don't like stopping and say, okay, it's the next thing, but just a little ding. And it's like, okay, should be done with that. 'Cause
Yeah, I
it's
don't
so
have-
easy to lose track of time. I mean, you know what the sequence is
Yeah.
by now, but, trying to,
Actually, I
keep track of 5 minutes is,
Well, I actually do mine now, my practices, without even stopping anymore, because I haven't timed out. I did it, I tried it once, and I actually came out to around the same time. By the time I count up, unless I click out. If I click out a few times, then I'm gonna lose track, but if you can keep yourself conscious without clicking out.
What are the odds that we'll all finish at the same time, though?
yeah.
Well,
Because if you just set it for exactly 45 or something,
Yeah.
then wouldn't we all kind of finish at different spots?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, we might as well just go ahead and just do the reminder. Same
Um,
like you do.
Did you
Well,
find
let's
something
do
I
it.
would
with that?
say at a minimum have a timer at the end of the breathing because I do these, the 8
Yeah.
second count, and that's ridiculously consuming when I can't also
okay,
try
so
time.
we'll do the stop again this week, and then I'll try to find something for next week. And that goes off, a program that goes off every
Yeah,
5
that'd be
minutes.
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I have one, the Pomodoro.
Actually,
interval.
I could, yeah, but it would take too long right now. I could set up an alarm for each one.
I can send
I could
you
do
a
that.
Flash program that makes it really easy to set manual timers. You don't just want 5-minute tickers, you want 5, 5, 5, 15.
No, I can do that on mine, but I would have to set it up. Yeah, I have you can set multiple alarms, so I'll set one off on each one to go off, but it would take a while to set that up. So I'll do it next week, I'll get
Do
that ready.
those auto click off?
Yep, they go off.
I mean, it'll
Without
just
you
go.
having to switch.
Yeah, without you having
slider.
to stop it.
Well, what I can do is I can pick the audio file for it when it goes off, so it'll just be like a quick, like a ting, and that will be it, and it'll just be quiet, and then it'll
Make
just
sure it
go off.
doesn't loop.
Yeah, it doesn't loop.
I'll double check, but
Yeah,
make sure it
because
doesn't.
Stephanie's loops.
No,
You mean like if you
my
don't,
computer one.
Yeah, the computer.
you're saying like if you don't answer it, it'll go back off again to remind you?
Normally with phone alarms, it's supposed to wake you up, so if you
Yeah.
don't physically swipe it to let it know that
Yeah,
to time
it'll
out.
keep going for a week.
Oh, mine will time out, but I don't know if it'll actually start up again if you don't hit stop, like to remind you. Like goes automatically into a snooze again. I'll find
Since
out.
you have your computer, I can send you a file. I didn't think to use it that way, but yeah, I have a flash timer.
Yeah.
Where you can.
I had a pretty interesting dream today when I wrote it down. So apparently I'm at Walsh just normally like grabbing just my regular milks and juices for free because people just leave them on the side of the trash cans. And I go over to Decker and apparently he has this huge bag of Cheetos and he like gives it to me saying I don't like Cheetos, so just have it. And then I come back around and then for some reason I had like an intention of digging in the trash can. So I did. So I find this tiny mouse and a laptop. And apparently assistant principal comes by and is saying like, you can't have it. And I'm sitting there like, well, I can because someone threw it in the trash can. No one wants it. And then eventually I win the argument and it was like, okay, fine, you get it. So I was like pleased with myself, and then my dream ended.
Was it Jason? Was it your father's new mouse he bought, by any chance? Or his
No,
old one
it
that he
was
threw
like
out?
It was a tiny mouse.
Oh.
It was a mouse called Tiny Innovations. So.
Cool.
Yep.
Dreams of
I get in
abundance.
my dream I got a free Liftoff.
What do you dream?
Good job remembering your dreams and writing them
Yeah,
down.
write them down. You write them in your new journal with your orange pen.
Very good, Nathan.
Well, I'm not writing in that one. That's gonna be my new, like just regular private journal. I have another journal for my dreams.
Okay.
Nathan, anything you want to say to yourself 15 years from now when you're an OBE master looking back at this?
I probably would say that I've come a long way doing this.
Cool. Steph, you seem like you have something you want to share.
So I really like this method because it's really similar to what used to work for me. So I figured out that just simply touching my hands together out of body feels very real. You know, I can imagine that, you know, my hands up or something just by sheer imagination, and it doesn't feel really real. But when I put both my hands out, and I'm not convinced it's really happening, but then I put my hands together, whoa, I get this like magnetic, energetic resistance and stuff. It's not quite like my physical hands touching, it's like two hand magnets or something. They have like a repel.
But you get
Force field.
Get feedback. Yeah.
Yeah. So I use that to become aware of my energy hands. And then forever ago I figured out that, well, if that works so well, yeah, I become aware of my energy arm and shoulder, and then finally, you know, my eyes. I touch my eyelids. And about at that point, I'm able to just sit up. And then I'm good. I can take off. So the idea of doing, you know, washing your hands and doing all kinds of, you know, movement and madness, that's pretty awesome. So that was really working. I did not have an actual OBE, but I came damn close. So that was really cool. Yeah, they got my chakras firing up, and I felt like I was, like my, you know, earlier it says in the trance week that be prepared to feel like you're growing bigger, filling up the room. So I guess I became aware of my energy bubble or something, and felt like I was getting bigger and like ballooning out. And I kept counting, because he'd said that you can actually use the 888 count to go all the way. I had assumed that would be a distraction, that you shouldn't probably be thinking of anything, even counting at the very end, but yeah, it says earlier that you can, so that helped keep me centered and consistent and not daydreaming, not doing other things. So the whole time I was counting up to 8 and loop in the background sometimes, unconsciously, sometimes the subconscious would continue for me, so that was cool. And then I was like, I feel like I was almost there on the brink of something, and I was feeling really good, feeling really charged and energetic. And I thought, well, I'm not quite reaching whatever that line is. Maybe I'll switch techniques, you know, because it says. So I did the ladder for a bit, and that shifted things in an interesting way, but didn't quite get there. And then I tried, as it said in the tips, to do the keyboard thing. So I used a roommate through that wall, and I know he has a computer in there. I think it's on the far wall.
Yep.
So cool. So I imagined being there typing. I didn't know if he was at the computer or in the kitchen, so I could have been overlapping him.
Well, here's the thing. He actually just moved his computer 2 days ago. He moved it from that side to the other side now.
From the close side to the far side?
No, he used to have it by the far side, by the way to get out. Now he moved it towards the other side, like over that way.
On that wall?
Yeah, that wall.
Oh, okay.
That way.
Yeah, I saw it as that wall. That's neat. So, so I did that for a minute, and it was neat kind of feeling the keys. I could imagine actually the sensation of tapping keys. But I felt like an energy, like it all just kind of got uneasy. And so it was like, took away my energy. So, okay, that didn't work. So, shift back. I tried your keyboard for a bit. And that was better. It didn't have energy drain. But, and then time was up. So, but yeah, that worked really well. Something about tonight too, before we even got to the washing hands thing, I had, my chakras have been way better and more clear, less stuff in the way, less junk in the way. And then earlier this week, about 2 days ago, our last one, 2 days ago, I was in the middle of the trance and I started seeing fractals.
Oh.
So kind of have this really, dark gray, normal, black screen or whatever, the vision. And then I saw this little kind of spiral pattern of color in this kind of prismatic sense. And it felt like there was like a consciousness or an energy to it. Like, that's cool. So I could either ignore it as a distraction or go ahead and dive into it and kind of forfeit the OBE stuff. So maybe I went ahead and focused on that. And felt like something about it was healing in my energies. So it was really nice. So maybe that cleared me up a bit and made room for today to have more energy and stuff. I figure it's the only thing that happened differently. So yeah, otherwise this week didn't go that well. This was my worst week so far. Week 8, right? Up until 9. So week 8 was my worst week, where I had the most distractions of life, cluttering up. I skipped a day, made it up for it, did 2 bruises in one day, and then skipped another day, made up for it, and skipped another day, and made up for it today.
It's getting to be a pattern. I can believe it.
Yeah. So we did one. Oh, and we had our first bruise session in the morning ever, first ever, because I'm a
It's good to
nighttime
experiment.
person.
Yeah.
So it was interesting. I was able to do the first part more easily, but then I was even more distractible in the trance part. I daydreamed and got all kinds of distracted. So,
That was less.
but today's session right now was great. That was best ever, actually. Thanks.
And even with Nathan distracting and stuff, he still went right back into it, which is pretty amazing.
I was
to
able
cut
to monitor him.
And stay in trance.
And go right back in.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
I like the morning session because being tense is one of the issues that I have with meditation that really I have to overcome. And in the morning, if as long as I'm not sleepy. And so today was nice because we had plenty of time to like snooze and just kind of lounge in bed. And so when we got up, I was pretty refreshed and was able to just go right into it. We even skipped the muscle relaxation because there wasn't any need for it.
Right.
And so I didn't click out at all. No sleepiness. It was pretty easy for me to stay on focus. So yeah, I like it in the morning. Plus, you don't feel, rushed. It feels more of a priority. If it's early, it's like, oh yeah, this is the focus of our day, instead of like, oh, we need to squeeze it in before it's nighttime, go to bed. And so yeah, I really enjoyed it. But yeah, it was a rough week with several days.
You made it past.
Skipped and then
You guys are here.
back. Yeah. Heat was very distracting this evening though. It's too warm in the room, so that really kept me from getting too deep. So I just feel like oppressive heat.
Maybe that's what did it for me.
Yeah.
I'm
The
like,
opposite.
Sauna.
Yeah.
Well, Stephanie will sleep under tons of blankets, even if it's 75
Yep.
in the room. So
I'm the same way.
yeah, it has to get really hot before she'll throw off covers. So I'm the opposite. If I get too much heat, then I can't sleep, and then I have to get rid of stuff. So it was tough for me.
I'm using my 20 degrees sleeping bag that I use for camping. I use it to sleep in.
But yeah, other than that, pretty decent week.
Cool, thanks. Larry, anything you want to share?
Not
Nope.
much.
Okay.
But pretty uneventful.
The spike
But,
pillow is really hard.
Could you share about your idea to try going home and the coffee?
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah,
As far as
so,
tips,
so washing
okay.
my hands, I thought, well, I'll wash hands in my house. Right, so I imagined, actually I imagined, the bathroom sink, and washed there for a while. And I thought, well, just go in the kitchen and wash there too. So it gave me exercise in seeing a lot of different objects and moving, and just so I got more in touch with, being, projecting a body, So then when I got in the kitchen, I was washing my hands, got kind of bored with that, and I thought, well, I'll make some coffee, So I visualized that whole process and went through the routine, so, just good exercise and intensifying my ability to visualize, so. It's getting better. Used to be hard, I used to have a hard time, and I could move, but I'd have a hard time thinking about my legs moving when I was walking. And now I'm getting better at that, so.
Actually, in the book, Bruce mentions that you should visualize yourself actually floating around.
Yeah,
That's
that's
easier.
Did you-
yeah.
Yeah, he says don't pretend like you're walking. Just actually practice
Just
doing your. It's just slide,
Okay,
like
that's-
kind of gliding
That's what
across the
yeah,
ground.
That's
Yeah,
what that's
Yeah.
what comes natural.
the OBE walkthrough he gets into that. He talks about that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, when you're
I
out.
forgot about that,
Yeah, when you're out, your body is like don't feel like you're walking. Pretend like you're gliding.
You know what's funny
Yeah.
about that? So on on the trance method, you just would go downstairs one by one. It's ridiculously slow, a whole breath for a no. So that drives me mad, and I start daydreaming. So now I'm just settled. I'm gonna zoom. I'm gonna fly down the stairwell. Like
It's
very
smarter than
quickly.
you.
I just use the elevator. I like that analogy.
Yeah.
Elevators-
It's like it's open and you can just see the rocks or the bricks or whatever going by,
Yeah.
Something about the
Yeah.
elevator, I feel like psychologically there has to be an end. Like what elevator is all that tall, right? So I keep feeling that like it's gonna end anytime soon. But with the stairs, I can imagine like I allow myself to see it as more infinite, and I can just like coast really
Just coast,
fast
yeah,
down, as at the speed of a water slide, basically. But
Mhm.
flying head first down the stairwell. And like kind of like a medieval archway kind of thing, so I get the full texture effect going past me. Something about that gives me that nice sliding, sinking sensation.
You know, what gives me trouble though with that particular one is because you're supposed to be looking up at your third eye the whole time, but when you're doing any kind of slide or downward motion, my eyes want to go down and like watch the layers go by, and you can't do that with that, so I keep having to fight myself, and I haven't quite figured out a practice to get through that.
You can just not do the third eye. He says
Yeah,
only
eventually I give up on it. Usually after about 5 or 10 minutes, I just quit doing the third eye and just.
And he says use it again if you start getting vibrations, then use the
Yeah.
third eye to enhance the vibrations.
So I do watch for that, but Larry said with the visualizing different things, that was really the best part of today's, earlier today's meditation was that I must have went through over a dozen like scenarios in that spin loosening, and where you just like, okay, now I'm here, and then I would like visualize it, make it really crisp, and then feel that kind of rubber band pulling back, and then I let myself feel like I snap back in my body, and then like, okay, now I'm here again, and then I visualize another area, and I was on the roof, I was like over here in the hall, in the bedroom, down on the first floor. I just just all kinds of different visualizations. I was able to make them pretty crisp, and then try and feel some sensation and snap back. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, pretty cool.
A couple things is a lot of times I like to just, instead of like using the elevator or the stairs, I like to just like imagine myself in the sky or something, just kind of flying down. And two, with the stairs, for some reason, whenever like I'm walking down them, I can't really imagine like a wall or anything like that. I imagine like a vortex or something. Like if you Smash Bros. And the very end when you're going through like the doors and everything, there's always this purple stuff. That's why I pretty much imagine.
But there's still stairs or no?
There's still stairs. It's just there's no walls. It's just like the vortex.
Sounds
Can't really
hard to
imagine
visualize.
like.
Well, it makes it interesting, easier to stick with it, I guess, and not get bored.
More emotion
A
going on.
group that has 100%.
I know.
Yeah.
The corner's
It's super
This
awesome.
is, I just want to mention this here in the book, that Jason wrote in here before we started this, that have his first OB and that should be checked off.
Mm-hmm.
Jason's first thing.
Yeah.
That's, we wrote down here what we wanted to accomplish,
Mm-hmm.
and so Jason's is done.
You're ahead of
Have his
schedule.
first OB.
Accomplished.
Yeah,
A third of the way through. That was day 30.
You did it big time too.
and mine's to get proof, and Steph was a higher realm OBE.
Which I actually kind of had. I don't know if I can.
That one long one
qualify
that you
it
had?
because it wasn't that vivid. I want it to be like a tad more immersive to really kind of count it. But I mean, essentially that was it. It was more of like that kind of daydream myself out kind of version though. So. Oh no, it wasn't. It was more. I guess it was overlapping with the dream. I want pure 100% clean OB only IRL experience. But I mean, I would say, essentially that's my goal too.
I want to get one that's more than 20 seconds.
Yeah.
That was so short.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's going to happen.
So what's your goal? What's your ideal length?
Ideal length?
Hour?
All night.
Yeah.
8 hours.
Yeah.
This whole week during my trance work, I heard a lot of knocking on the door, like, just somebody knocking. So I had checked with my roommate. I'm like, Tom, are you knocking on my door? I'm probably not, but are you? He's like, no, I'm not knocking on your door. And of course, it's happening during the time when the vibrations are coming on.
Yeah.
Knocking.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So a lot of times this week, I've been writing down knocking on the door, and
It's from all your meetups. Oh no, the first person.
I know, it drives me crazy. And I had a lot of good stuff here. I got to go back and check my journals from doing this a year and a half ago. I got a lot of things that happened this week.
Oh, what was that passage that we read in the reading about astral noise that made a lot of sense when we had visualizing?
Oh, yeah. Are you done? Well,
Oh.
when we're done sharing, with his share, then we'll
Sure.
go into the reading.
On-
That's a really good point.
Yeah, there's a good points on that. On day 52, I had a feeling of leaving my body. I don't know. I had a feeling, but I didn't get any sight, and that's all it was. And that was, let's see, today at 1 p.m. That's when I was doing I kind of did like a wake back to bed in the morning, and I just had the feeling, like a knowing that I left my body and then came back, but it was quick and just made a note of
That
it.
counts.
Yeah, it was a baby one, but I don't know, it's, and now that I look back at this day, it's like, I can hardly even remember exactly, the whole, like how the memories just kind of fade,
Mhm.
but
I had a baby
there was
one
a
when
sense,
I was
it was kind of weird.
I had a baby one when I was like 12, I think. I remembered that I was like looking past my leaf to the roof, and then I just snapped back.
That's counts, and Bruce talks a lot about that, Nathan, about those quick outs and back.
I think the snapping back part is one of the most intense things, and it actually proves that you did it. You're not
Yeah.
gonna imagine
Yeah.
the way it feels.
Yep. Yeah.
It's just so-
And that doesn't happen with lucids. When you wake up
Yeah.
from lucids,
Yeah.
you don't fall back here into
Yeah,
your
you
body.
don't
Yeah.
suck back.
Okay. You're on.
I'm on. I'm live.
You're live.
And action.
So he talks a lot about astral noises and weird things that can happen. And previous to I guess week 8, he's just been saying, FYI, you might hear someone calling your name, tapping at the door, all kinds of weird and odd things, and just completely ignore it. It's in your head. It's subconscious. Your subconscious trying to trick you into waking up. Well, he adds a new angle on it, that some of them could very well be a successful OBE projection, where you're in your body trying to project while another you had already made it and is out, say, off on the highway, and you hear a horn or a car passing or whatever, weird astral noises that are actually real noises that are a crossover from what your projected self is hearing. So,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, that was a really cool little sub-paragraph that
Right.
I could have glossed over, but like, oh, what a neat idea.
So you got multiple projectors, maybe air traffic control at some point.
Yeah, yeah.
I must be following Mormons or somebody around, Jehovah's Witnesses knocking on people's doors.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because he
Yeah.
wasn't talking about audio, he was talking about visual.
No, he was talking about audio.
Well, the big thing was he's like, sometimes you may see glimpses of things that are far away, and it's like, well, this is just, you know, your other self and what it sees, and like, well, that explains astral noise too. And we're like, oh yeah, that makes good sense.
Oh, I know. There was one other neat point. He was talking about the mind split more in detail, that there's one you that just lays down, falls asleep, and ish. And there's another you that has this kind of like partial projection to your etheric body or something. And then there's the one that makes it. And then there's another one that could be dreaming. And but he said something new, that he, like a new detail. The part of you that falls into a dream consumes a lot of energy and pulls at the others for energy. And that is why it's so important to stay uncomfortable and not be completely, Tempur-Pedic, completely relaxed. Because you don't want to allow yourself to fall into that dream state. You can go into a meditative state, no problem, but apparently something about the creation of a dream pulls energy from the others. And he had an example where someone's OBE, everything's fine, and all of a sudden there's this drain, and then someone, in their example, like literally sunk onto the ground, unable to move, in their projected form. It was all symbolic of the energy being sucked away. And I've had a few projections where I'm out, everything's fine, vivid as hell, and I just know that I gotta end it within, like, I got 5 seconds, maybe 10-second window. And I'm like, alright, one last thing. And I go and check on something, and then sure enough, yeah, I'm back in my body. I didn't ever know why there's a sudden, immediate need to return.
So you don't go back and be in the dream, you're just come back and wake up.
Yeah, I guess on that level, something else was taking care of all that and was feeling that there was a pull and decided to override and snap me back instead of allowing me to sink into a dream and pass out.
Yeah, Bruce says that there's too many reality fluctuations, that means you're falling into the dream state, and try to get back then if things start changing too much, try to get back to your body. He mentions that this week.
Also seems like a real pro for making lucid dream to OBE transitions, because it would seem if you go from the dream state straight into an OBE that there's no dream copy running around draining anything, because you've taken that whole piece of consciousness and moved it.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Yeah, what happened to that? That the dream memory?
Yeah, and that's one of the techniques, is just, oh, I'm lucid, and then fall within the dream, and that'll kick you
Right.
into an OBE state, or, visualize going back to your body and then projecting from there. But, either way, it's like, okay, there's that dream consciousness, and now you're transitioning that to a different state. There should be no drain.
It also
Yeah.
makes the technique that Jason did really interesting. So you would be in a dream instead of an OBE. And then do that technique where you suck all the energy from the dream itself, the content of the dream, back into your body. Then, wow, you're charged up, ready to go.
Yeah, I'm pretty convinced that, doing that technique is why it was successful. Not because, that was my first time having an OBE, but just being able to recall it and just pulling that energy back gave me enough energy to just like solidify and, keep those memories. And so it's like, yeah, that's a great. I'm gonna keep that one. Probably try and do that at the end of every OBE. Either that or dive back into the body, but make sure there's a very hardline transition, to ending, so that there's not any kind of memory loss.
Before you dive back in, though, make sure you say something like, Geronimo, I'm going to remember this.
Keyboard.
I just had an antibody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I figured I mean, after reading this about memory, and being now convinced that that's true, that you really can forget an overwhelmingly cool OBE experience. But I probably had plenty back in the day at least, and was, I don't know about coming back. I'm going to stay here as long as I can, and forgot them all because I just fell asleep out of body.
Mm-hmm.
Or went into a dream state.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's why, he said it's real important to just kind of like increase it by 30 seconds at a
Right.
time, and do not try and stay out as long as you can early on. You gotta train yourself to hold on to stuff.
And then try to figure out when your body falls into a deep sleep so you can't get back in. Once you get good
Yeah.
enough at it, use that technique and your body falls really deep. And then you can't get back in. It's like, oh well, guess I gotta stay out here for another 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah, that would be the
The
one
goal.
excuse.
There's worse places to hang out.
Yeah. Sure.
So is it, what time is it, Steph? Is it 9?
Well,
Is it past 9?
Yes.
9:07.
Wow.
But do you
Well-
have anything to share from your reading?
I have stuff highlighted, but it's getting, maybe we could talk about it. I don't know what your guys' plans are. I mean, I just highlight stuff when I go through it.
Anything call to you?
Here. I wrote down this here. The most reliable way to validate an OBE is to induce a fully conscious OBE exit. It's the easiest way to validate it. OBEs under slight discomfort conditions, because you guys brought this here, so this is a good one. This delays the onset of dream mind interference. Briefly looking at your hands every 10 seconds or so also helps stabilize an OBE.
What helps delay dreams?
Discomfort.
Yeah.
So it helps delay the dream mind from taking over and pushing its way in. Giving a running verbal commentary also helps stabilize an OBE. As this helps keep your mind focused, it also helps to keep moving and not too focused too long on any one object. So he says don't look too much at one object. I remember doing that once when I had a lucid dream. I was staring at this coin I saw and all the detail on it. And I was just amazed, like, who made this coin up with all this detail on it? How did my mind do this or what? And then I felt myself coming out of it because I was so concentrated on all this detail in the coin. And then boom, I was back in my body from the
Yeah.
lucid dream.
Castaneda talks about that, how it's dangerous to kind of get lost in details.
Yeah.
Because it'll suck you in, and that you have to only focus briefly on things. He says,
Right.
just, don't stare at something for too long, or you'll lose.
Yeah, but somebody made up this beautiful coin. I want to see what they did to it. They put all this work into it, man. Don't knock me out of it. Let me see what you did.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, we can only give you a little bit of information, otherwise you're going to send you back. Don't get too crazy and look at something.
And he does talk about, I think, if I remember right, like glancing away,
Yeah.
then go back, glance away. Keep doing that.
Yeah, it's a training practice.
Right.
Yeah.
Or maybe if you were to
Stabilize.
rub the coin while you're looking
Yeah,
at it, you
right.
get that tactile sensation.
Or like this.
Yeah.
Rub something next to me as I'm looking at the coin.
You don't want to get captured by something,
Right,
basically. So
yeah.
You don't want to get a certain sensation that captures you. So
Yeah.
That's why you want to keep.
Get absorbed in an activity, be good.
Yeah.
Right.
Literal.
Because then you forget that you're in control. And you're just
Yeah, you
caught
forget
by
that you're
it.
dreaming
Yeah.
completely. You're all about whatever you're absorbed in.
Huh. Yeah, I guess that you want to keep the context that you are having an OBE and you're doing whatever agenda you're up to, rather
Yeah,
than
to
forgetting.
be carried away by it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because your senses is much stronger, right? When you look at the coin, your vision, that's why you're so
Yeah, it's
amazed
crisp.
Yeah.
how the
Yeah.
coins looks like, right? Because you focus on it and your vision is much sharper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
it was, yeah. It's amazing. And there was so much detail, too,
Mhm.
into it.
Yeah. I don't know, I almost never have dreams where my vision's blurry, unlike, waking life.
Yeah, you have to put your glasses on.
Yeah,
Maybe you do
everything's
sometimes.
pretty
It's
crisp.
it's a habit to put your glasses on. But.
Mhm.
Oh, this week I forgot, guys. We got to make a sleep programming recording. Make your own affirmations this week.
Ooh, wow.
So that's here. So guys, record yourself. He says record yourself on any recording device that you have, and he gives you some examples here of all the types of affirmations, how to start them off and stuff like this. And for some reason, I wrote a note here a year and a half ago. Do this with Steph and Jason. Make up our own.
Awesome. Let's do it.
So yes, that is the new thing for this week. So make up your own affirmations and play them as you fall asleep. As he says here, as you go to sleep, but just play it for 30 minutes as you're falling asleep. Have it turn off. So basically, when your main consciousness, he tells you, stays in your body when you're sleeping, and then you're always making a double consciousness to go out, and hopefully that information gets downloaded back. So he kind of talks a lot about that, the double, and even in the dream state, the double for that, what you're talking about, Steph, earlier.
Does he talk about thought forms?
Talk about
Yeah.
what?
No.
No, thought forms is not a process of the exit. So I was realizing the little program I have for alarms, I could put any audio in there, and I could have my own voice saying cues like, pre-stimulation,
Right.
and just have
Oh,
a real
yeah.
quick, quiet, soft guidance every 5 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever. to
Definitely. Yeah,
walk
good
us
idea.
through. Yeah.
Have Jason do it for you. Actually, no, Steph, you're good at the audio stuff. Or Jason did the audio stuff before, right, for Bruce?
Oh, I can do the whole thing.
You can do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could either do that in Unity, or I can do that in
Oh, yeah.
that simple Flash program.
Cool. I mean, we can pass it around and
Yeah.
all you do. Actually, we could do it as we're doing the session.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
this,
and for
specifically
yourself.
for this, yeah. Yeah, and then I can make an MP3 of it too.
Right.
Yeah. Have it on our phones.
Well, I was thinking if you get really ambitious, you could do the whole session as a recording with the binaural beats. It'd have to go on like a
With the
DVD or
beats,
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it
Yeah.
was just like completely guide you through it so that you wouldn't have to worry about time at all. It would walk yourself through it while listening to the binaural beats and like the whole
You could
session.
even do the physical relaxation,
Mm.
with an exact, 5-second
Mhm.
pacing.
Well, what I figured that would probably be the best because there's a lot of repetition, but yes, like slight variations. So you would just make recordings of each step, and then you just make a playlist for the day that would say okay, the relaxation walkthrough, the pre-stem walkthrough with the binaural beats, just going along.
And tack them on like little Lego bricks.
Yeah.
Throughout the program.
Yeah, well, just to
definitely.
make a playlist out of it, and that way it wouldn't be quite as much space, data-wise, but
Right.
and you less work, you'd
Yeah. And send off all these alarms and stuff.
yeah, you just be adding, doing 5 to 20 minutes sessions each extra day throughout the week. Once you've got that week set up, or as we're seeing, basically it's unchanging for the past several weeks, most of it. So it wouldn't be that much effort.
All right, Steph, we got a job.
Mhm.
It'd be fun.
Yay. Well,
and,
guys.
And we have to anyway, as part of our, week 9 requirement.
Yeah. Yep, we have to.
That's right.
So Bruce does say there's a difference between out of body, lucid dreaming. So
Mhm.
he definitely says there's a difference.
Yeah.
And
If
I-
Bob would ever get on the ball, Robert
just
Peterson
mentioned-
has a whole lecture about that.
He-
That was
that's right.
great. Yeah.
I think it's the appendix, and maybe also in a later week, but the appendix for sure has a real clear breakdown between what to look out for in a lucid dream versus an OBE.
Hmm.
Pretty sure I highlighted it a long time ago. Oh.
Okay, here it is. I found it. Page 290. And on the right side there, second paragraph down. There are, however, some fairly well-known signs that indicate the likelihood of an OBE rather than a lucid dream. If you look at your hands, do they start to melt? If yes, then you're probably having an OBE. Is moving around easier and effortless, or is it clumsy and requires concentration? If it's difficult and unusual, you're most likely having an OBE. And then he goes on, talks about different things there.
Cool. We'll have to commit those to memory.
And also in OBE, there's no EEG, right?
Oh, yes, yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
no
Sleep,
brain
dreams.
activity,
Electoral
and definitely no REM.
Yeah.
No REM's going on.
That's right.
So that might be cool once I get those Cocoon headphones,
Right.
because it monitors EEGs, and it's like, oh, I had this experience. I go back and look at the chart, and like, whoop,
Nope.
nope, there's nothing going on. So that was an OBE, not a Lucid.
Yeah.
So yeah, super cool.
Also means that the REMI won't trigger. It won't ruin your OBE.
Oh yeah, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, and also too, Pauline here. So, what is the difference between a lucid dream and OBE? In a lucid dream, lucidity itself consumes the majority of the dreamer's finite energy resources. During an OBE, the lucidity factor resides within the projected double. Focus here is on which copy of the consciousness takes the level of energy required to function on a lucid and independent basis. That's what you were talking about earlier, Steph. Which one steals more energy? So you don't want the dream state to steal that energy.
Yep.
Mhm.
And I think that's why we're doing so much chakra work and energy work, is to charge it up so much that you can feel both.
Mhm.
And so there's less conflict, and you have a chance at having both, and then a hope of having the memory of it.
Right.
And speaking of energy, Jason last week had mentioned that he felt really, charged up and awake and alive, more so than usual.
Storing that energy.
From
Jason, aren't you?
fasting. No, well, that plus fasting though, because he went 3 days. And I just popped up, I was looking for the lucid dream part, but I found fasting to enhance personal energy levels in week 11. So
Are you looking ahead, Steph?
it's okay to read ahead, just not to do an early
Practice.
day. Yeah, no early practicing, because you won't know what that could be doing. Cool stuff.
All right,
We're
guys.
close.
Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Awesome.
Guys, yeah, we're getting close.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and your all-time record of 65
It's
is
getting
coming
Yeah.
close. I can't wait.
Less than a week.
up.
Yep.
Bye. When
I
we
can
sit
quit
here next
again.
week, you'll be
Quit
there.
again,
No.
yes, in 1 week.
Ah.
Larry's like, this stuff's easy, you guys, man.
Yeah.
Come out in 2 weeks.
Pros
I
like,
hope that it's 20 seconds, but at least it's something. But yeah, I feel like I get close a lot.
Yeah. Yep. I think once that's what I hear a lot during this, 3 years of doing this, is people get close a lot. And once we get over that hurdle, and imagine being able to do it like in
Yeah.
ease after that
Yeah.
blockage.
Yeah,
Whatever it
because I've
is.
had a lot of times with the vibrations and and waviness.
Yeah.
Fluidity kind of going up. But then when I actually got out, it was like I didn't even realize it.
Right.
I didn't have any experience of the exit. Just there it was, So
Right.
that kind of disconnects what you expect it to be. So I want to get one where I consciously get out and then control it.
Right.
Remember that.
Go through the gates.
Yeah, because it's real. Yeah, I mean, I know what happened was real, but I think as you go, step by step process, then you really got a continuity
Right.
of perception. So I think that's probably a real charge when you get that.
Did you guys ever see Never Ending Story? You guys will see it. You
Yeah.
ever see Never Ending Story? Came out in the 80s or 90s.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
You remember he has to walk through the statues and the eyes open up. He's got to believe in himself. He's got to go. There's 2 statues, and he's got to walk through it, and their eyes are closed. And if their eyes open up, that means he doesn't have enough confidence. You remember that part, Jason?
I should watch that again.
Yeah. So basically, that's how I see it. Like having a conscious OBE. You got to make it past those statues that shoot all those caressing feelings.
Sideways or whatever, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
That's a wrap.
All right.